Was the Warsaw Pact controlled by the Soviet Union? Have you ever wondered about the dynamics of military alliances during the Cold War? Today, we are looking at the Warsaw Pact and its relationship with the Soviet Union. So, was the Warsaw Pact controlled by the Soviet Union? Let's find out. The Warsaw Pact was established in 1955 as a military alliance among Eastern European socialist states. Its main purpose was to counterbalance the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which included Western capitalist countries. While it may have seemed like a coalition of equals, the reality was quite different. The Soviet Union held a dominant position within this alliance. The military and political structures of the Warsaw Pact were fundamentally under Soviet leadership. The Joint Command and Joint Staff were based in Moscow, where the Soviet General Staff directed military operations. This meant that the Soviet Union had a significant say in how the alliance functioned. Although member states were supposed to choose their highest-ranking officers by mutual agreement, the Soviet Union often unilaterally appointed key leaders. This included the commander-in-chief of the Warsaw Pact and the chief of staff. These Soviet officers had ranks that were superior to the defense ministers of other member countries. This arrangement reinforced the Soviet Union's control over the alliance. Moreover, senior Soviet military representatives were stationed in the capitals of all Warsaw Pact countries. While these representatives were there with the agreement of the host countries, they effectively monitored military training and operations. This ensured that everything aligned with Soviet policies and interests. On the political side, the Soviet Union maintained control through the communist parties in the member states. These parties followed directives from Moscow, which meant that the Soviet Union had a strong influence over political decisions. The presence of Soviet troops in several member countries further solidified this influence. One notable example of Soviet control was the invasion of Hungary in 1956. The Soviet Union used the Warsaw Pact to suppress dissent during the Hungarian Revolution. This action demonstrated how the pact was a tool for the Soviet Union to maintain its dominance and ensure the stability of socialist regimes in Eastern Europe. From a socialist perspective, the Warsaw Pact was intended to be a collective defense mechanism. It aimed to protect the gains of socialism in Eastern Europe against Western capitalist military alliances. However, the Soviet Union, as the leading socialist power, maintained its hegemony to preserve socialist unity and security. In essence, the Warsaw Pact was not just a loose coalition of equal partners. It was a Soviet-led military and political alliance where the Soviet Union exercised decisive control. This ensured that the alliance functioned under its strategic guidance and maintained a united front against Western influence during the Cold War.